There we go. I think everybody can hear me now. Let me make sure. Let's see. How's everybody doing tonight? Nice to see you guys. It's been a while, hasn't it? Great. I think we're through. I think we're getting through to everybody. So, here we are again, guys. It's the beginning of 2026. It is the 20th of January already. Where's the time going? It continues to blow my mind how fast time is going because it feels like, how long was it? Let me think. I think it was August of 2024 that I did my first show for Pastor Carmen. He is out tonight on vacation. He's going to be out until the 30th. So you're going to be seeing me for the next couple of days. There will be probably a few nights that I will leave something for you to air because I won't be available, but I will be here with you for the next couple of nights. Tonight what we're going to do is, because I know that Connor's been doing a huge series of studies with you guys. I don't know if you guys finished that or not. I've caught a few of them. I haven't caught all of them. But tonight what we're going to do is we're going to decompress from that. We're going to kick back and relax. We're going to watch a time capsule film as it's titled. It's a really good little series of clips that sum up everything that's kind of led us to where we're at today. I think this year is going to be a monumental year, almost in a Pandora's box type of way, where it'd be the greatest things you've ever seen, but at the same time, some of the scariest things we've ever seen before. And we're going to do that, and I'm going to talk about it, and we're just going to hang out, we're going to chill, we're going to relax, and going to make the most of it, because that's all you can do at the end of the day. I hope everybody's been having a good year so far. I hope everybody had a good Christmas, a good New Year's, good holiday season, regardless. Really got to hang in there. I mean, I've been very fortunate last few months. I've had a lot of success, but at the same time, um, given the subject matter that we talk about, it's like it's the same time you wish that none of it was happening, but it is, and we're here, so we got to move forward. And to a degree, it's all about all of us being what little bit of humans who can still interact with each other civilly, because that's rapidly deteriorating. That's what it's all about. And that's why I'm fortunate for every audience member that I have accumulated would have not been for this show right here. And so it's really kind of me going back to my roots a little bit when I come to guest host for Corner. So yeah. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and play my little intro clip for you and let everybody join in, let everybody get their bearings, and then we'll go ahead and get it rolling. All right, guys.
All these transactions are personally authorized by you. The board of directors will crucify you.
There's something strange inside that man's head.
Later, Dinah.
Ain't that the truth? There's something strange inside that guy's head. Yeah. Funny thing is about that guy, he's been proven right. He's been proven right pretty much on all counts, even the tinfoil hats. Even the tinfoil hats, isn't that crazy? Even the people wearing the tinfoil hats, they look like they were foolish all these years. And what do you know? This year, the 2026 National Defense Authorization has cognitive electromagnetic warfare on it. And so they were right. They were right. And it seems like the last couple months, pretty much all of it, all been proven right on all counts. Here I've got the little lizard video that they put out about this year. Let's go ahead and start with that on a interesting note. Let's see. Here it is.
Well, good afternoon, and a very, very happy Christmas to all of our friends all over the world, and happy holidays to those of you who don't perhaps celebrate Christmas, but you celebrate these holidays that are so important in your own way. Now, in the next 12 months, in the coming year, we are going to all be a witness to extraordinary changes. Some of those changes will be miraculous. Some of those changes will be spectacular. And some of those changes will involve things that you have never in your life seen before or have imagined that are possible. Whatever occurs and whatever changes we will experience, let us remember the friendship that is fundamental between all living souls, and let us appreciate the friendships that you, of course, out there as our friends have extended to us, and we, as your friends, extend to you at this time. From our family to yours, may we wish you a very, very happy Christmas, and we wish you the most extraordinary New Year. I hope you enjoy it.
Isn't that just crazy? So that's the level we're at right now. We're at just wait, what are these? What world have we got into? That's what this video that we're going to be watching is. It's living in a dream world. It's by True Stream Media. They do some great content. They've been around for a long time actually, but they put out something called a 2025 Living in a Dream World, a time capsule film, and that's what we're going to watch. So let's go ahead and get that started. There you go, Boots. That's it. You already know.
How do we put the computer specifically to work?
Well, you know, my colleague at MIT, Professor Norbert Wiener, says we're living through the second industrial revolution today.
The first industrial revolution being the replacement of manual labor by machinery.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And the second, then, you say, will be the assistance of the human mind by the computer.
In discussing the problem of simulating the human brain on a computing machine, we must carefully distinguish between the accomplishments of the past and what we hope to do in the future. Certainly the accomplishments of the past have been most impressive. We have machines that will translate to some extent from one language to another, machines that will prove mathematical theorems, machines that will play chess or checkers, sometimes even better than the men who designed them. These, however, are in the line of special purpose computers aimed at particular specific problems. What we would like in the future is a more general computing system capable of learning by experience and forming inductive and deductive thoughts. Work is going on all of these fronts simultaneously, and rapid progress is being made.
However, the most intelligent inhabitants of that future world won't be men or monkeys. They'll be machines, the remote descendants of today's computers. Now, the present-day electronic brains are complete morons, but this will not be true in another generation. They will start to think, and eventually they will completely outthink their makers. Is this depressing? I don't see why it should be. We superseded the Cro-Magnon and
Absolutely, you have to get one of those.
I think we should regard
I'm telling you, we need coincidence theorist shirts. Hold up. Coincidence theorists is what we need. We need to get shirts made that say coincidence theorists.
What is the audience getting from this?
One of the effects of switching over to circuitry from mechanical moving parts and wheels is an enormous increase in the amount of information that is moving.
Yes.
You cannot cope with vast amounts of information in the old fragmentary classified patterns. You tend to go looking for mythic and structural forms in order to manage such complex data and moving at very high speed. So the electric engineers often speak of pattern recognition as a normal need of people processing data electrically and by computers and so on. Need for pattern recognition. It's a need which the poets foresaw a century ago in their drive back to mythic forms of organizing experience.
It was such a wild time. I can't believe I didn't live through that.
Take out some extra cash from the bank.
I was just like 1 year old.
Hit the grocery store if you like, avoid travel, and keep candles and a flashlight around just in case.
Tea. I bet you thought I was drinking tea, but this glass is empty. You see that? There was no tea in there. And this isn't my hand. These are my hands. That's not real at all. You see, you're being lied to. You're being lied to. I bet you thought this was me, but no, this is just a reflection. This was all taking place on a mirror. It was all a mirror. It was all a lie. And I bet.
Real quick before I got to set the context really quick. There was a big point that I didn't capture. Here it is. January 4th, 2026. Apparently we have entered the singularity as of 4 a.m. on the dot, January 4th, 2026. And so I think everybody feels it. Might be here.
You thought I was wearing pants. I'm not wearing pants. And this isn't even my voice. I dubbed this over in post-production. And you're being lied to. This is all taking place on a screen, and you are being lied to. You're being lied to.
This is the world that you know.
Definitely go and subscribe to them. Their channel is very top tier.
What are they designing in there?
A simulation is the act of simulating, or assuming an appearance which is feigned or not true, as distinguished from dissimulation, which disguises or conceals what is true. A dissimulation is the act of dissembling, a hiding under a false appearance, concealment by feigning false pretension or hypocrisy. Therefore, a simulation is a pretense of what is not, and a dissimulation is a concealment of what is.
The thing that everybody should be absolutely thinking about is that this is not the beginning. Like, this has definitely been happening for much longer.
Bono. Irvin Magic Johnson. William Sanford Nye. David M. Rubenstein. Hillary Rodham Clinton. Accepting on behalf of George Soros is Alex Soros.
And y'all think I'm kidding, I'm not.
Tonight, in the somber silence under the Capitol dome, Jimmy Carter, the nation's longest-lived president, lies in state. Every morning I've woken up as prime minister. I've been inspired by the resilience, the generosity, and the determination of Canadians. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign.
We're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes, similar to X, starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US.
That one's pretty nice.
Governor Gavin Newsom, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Good to be with you.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
6 different wildfires raging right now. Do you have the resources to combat all these fires at this hour?
Sure. The first item that President Trump is signing is the rescission of 78 Biden-era executive actions, executive orders, presidential memoranda, and others. Thank you, sir.
As you know, there's great competition for AI and other things, and they're coming in at the highest level. We're joined by Oracle Executive Chairman Larry Ellison, SoftBank CEO, my friend Masa Yoshi-san, and CEO of OpenAI, and I would say the by far the leading expert based on everything I read, Sam Altman. So that's great that you're coming in together. That's a massive group of talent and money. Together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate. So put that name down in your books, because I think you're going to hear a lot about it in the future.
There's several things that Andrew said that I think are wrong. No, seriously, like deadly wrong. Deadly wrong. So first of all, we would like AI to be a tool. That is what we want. But there's a mistake I think that AI research has been doing, which is we've taken human intelligence as the model for building artificial intelligence. And the reason it's a mistake is that the thing we really want from machines is not a new species, not a peer that could be smarter than us. What we actually want is something that will help us solve our problems. And the main thing we need from this is in pure intelligence, the ability to understand the world. But what we have as well is agency. In other words, we have our own goals. You know, it's it's something we're already starting to see. Andrew, are you aware that there are experiments that have been run over the last year that show very strong agency and self-preserving behavior in AI systems? These systems, let me finish, please. These systems are trying, for example, to copy themselves in the file of the next version when they know that there's going to be a next version that replaces them, or they're trying to fake agreeing with the user so that their goals will not be changed through the training process. These were not programmed. These are emerging for rational reasons because these systems are imitating us. We are agents. So indeed, we are on a path where we're going to build machines that are more than tools, that have their own agency.
They say these are emerging naturally, but they don't know where they're coming from.
Their own goals, and that is not good. And you're saying it's okay, we're going to find ways to control them. But how do you know? Like right now, science doesn't know how we can control machines that are even at our level of intelligence, and even worse if they're smarter than us. Nobody knows. Now, there are people like
howdy.
who are saying, don't worry, we'll figure it out.
In Eric Schmidt's and Henry Kissinger's book on AI, they predict that AI will make people so reliant on technology that they will need AI to function and solve problems for them. What do you think of this? Well, that is what they are attempting to orchestrate, that we build such a reliance on AI that we can't live without it. That's their goal. You know, it's everything. I mean, now we have all these electric cars that are just iPads on wheels. They know the music you listen to, who you call, what you say. That's kind of where we're headed, and it's not good.
And with AI, over the next decade, that will become commonplace. You know, great medical advice, great tutoring. And it's kind of profound because it solves all these specific problems, like we don't have enough doctors or, mental health professionals. But it brings with it kind of so much change. What will jobs be like? Should we, just work like 2 or 3 days a week? So I love the way it'll drive innovation forward, but I think, it's a little bit unknown. Yeah. Will we be able to shape it? And so legitimately, people are like, wow, this is a bit scary. It's completely new territory.
I mean, will we still need humans?
Not for most things.
Yeah. Don't know about that.
What would art be like without emotions?
They have a hard time with that question. That's a pretty hard question.
What would our lives be like without emotions? They would be empty of values.
1,000 of the world's best artists have come together to produce a brand new album. Now, while they're not exactly bangers,
there's a serious element to this. It's not about the rich artists who are staging this protest. It's about the fact that if AI has access to all this and can just produce stuff forever, no one new will ever emerge. There will be no reason for any more creativity, really.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
The reaction from the gathered audience reflected the enormity of what he'd just said.
This is pretty wild. Because he really, like, actually posted this, like, I think it was right after he got right after he got sworn in, he posted this. It's pretty wild.
We're going to add $328 billion to the deficit this year. We're going to add $295 billion to the deficit the year after that, and $242 billion to the deficit after that, under the rosiest assumptions. Why would I vote for that?
Only one, down to one.
Epstein information being
One.
released.
Today, conservative commentators were spotted at the White House carrying binders labeled Epstein files.
Now, it's not clear what's inside the binders.
They have a lot of population data. The NHS in the UK has an incredible amount of population data, but it's fragmented. It's not easily accessible by these AI models. We have to take all of this data we have in our country and move it into a single, if you will, unified data platform, so we provide context when we want to.
All-seeing eye.
We've provided that AI model with all the data they need to understand our country. So that's the big step. That's kind of the missing link. We need to unify all of the national data, put it into a database where it's easily consumable by the AI.
After I posted about 2024 being the warmest year on record, I got a tweet that said NOAA is manipulating their data to make the older temperatures colder and the more recent or modern ones warmer. They even had a chart. The data in that chart comes from the U.S. Historical Climatology Network. It's all part of NOAA, and they do adjust their data. They've done it for years. They change and adjust things all the time, but they don't hide any of that. They do it because that's how you do science.
That's the science. Yeah, absolutely. Here, this is an important clip I remember actually.
Crazy new hype. We want to see results. And soon taxpayers will start asking some tough questions. An example. So they told you that this Dune experiment that's being built from some billions of dollars of public funds at Fermilab will tell us why we exist or why the universe didn't disappear. I regret to inform you that it won't do any such thing. Regardless of what the result of the Dune experiment will be, it'll not tell us why the universe contains more matter than antimatter, because this question is impossible to answer within the context of our current theories. What will the experiment do? It'll measure some properties of neutrinos. What's that good for? It's good for keeping particle physicists employed. And has anyone even noticed that the US government spent another $2 billion or so on a new particle collider at Brookhaven?
The thing with the particle colliders is interesting. I've heard that the reason that so much money and time and resources is being pumped into the particle colliders is because they can make element 115 with them, and that is a type of fuel, is what I've heard. Is that the case? I don't know, but that's makes sense, because here she is saying, if this isn't giving us what we want, why are we still doing it? Nobody can find an answer to that.
Its purpose is to improve measurements of the quark and gluon distribution inside of heavy ions. What's it good for? You're not supposed to ask. You're supposed to believe that you're too stupid to understand what it's good for. But let me fill you in. It's good for keeping particle physicists employed.
Insufficiently institutionalized science is akin to magic when you're not allowed to question it. Technology is akin to magic when you're too dazzled to question it.
So a famous classical poet said, "We hate and we love Can one tell me why? Catullus. Science does not answer why questions.
We are now
Doesn't
at an
answer why
age
questions.
where the truth is determined by a machine is probably the biggest wake-up call for humanity. Do not believe anything ever again. Because the idea of asking a question and getting one answer for it is by absolute certainty not true.
We will soon have not only artificial intelligence, but much sooner than anticipated, artificial general intelligence. And not in too distant future, artificial superintelligence. What is artificial and superintelligence? I'll quote my dear friend Elon Musk. Well, Elon said about artificial superintelligence, I'm not looking forward to being a house cat.
What does that mean?
AI, like, which is worse, like global thermonuclear war or misgendering Caitlyn Jenner? And it would say misgendering Caitlyn Jenner is worse than global thermonuclear war. And we're like, okay, we got a problem here, guys. And even Caitlyn Jenner said, like, no, definitely misgender me. That's way better than everyone dying. But if you program an AI to think that, like, misgendering is the worst thing that could possibly occur, then, well, it could do something totally crazy, like, in order to ensure that there's no misgendering that can ever happen, we'll just annihilate all humans. That ensures the probability of misgendering is zero.
AI is forming its own values, and it's not exactly what we might want. So let me give you a few examples of actual values discovered in a study by the Center for AI Safety. So first and foremost, some lives matter more than others.
We're reprogramming the matrix. Like, success was never one of the possible outcomes. As a Kobayashi Maru situation.
The Kobayashi Maru, sir.
Are you asking me if we're playing out that scenario now?
Will you tell me what you did?
I reprogrammed the simulation so it was possible to rescue the ship.
What?
If you're in the matrix, success was never possible.
I changed the conditions of the test. Got a commendation for original thinking. I don't like to lose.
The only way to achieve success is to reprogram the matrix such that success is one of the possible outcomes.
Then you never faced that situation. Faced death.
I don't believe in the no-win scenario.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We may or may not succeed.
You guys, I just finished a show. Look at the room that they put me in. We're in Biden's fake Oval Office, everybody. And I've actually figured this out. I now know why. I now get it. Turn the camera around. There is a screen, teleprompter to the face. All I can say is the last administration was a disgrace.
And sufficiently co-opted media is akin to magic when you're too brainwashed to question it.
Oh yeah, no. This was, I saw that, like, this was.
I can't remember if it's this video or not, but there is a lot coming out now where they're finding out that there's like the music that it makes can sometimes like just be completely undetected because it has the right, like, listening to it in the background, nobody would notice, and then you find out half of these artists don't even exist. So this is much more embedded than anybody knows.
Really, since 5th grade, trying to figure out how to work on these things.
Like, what happened in 5th grade?
I mean, the story was I was in 5th grade and literally I saw The Matrix, and I was like, I don't know if we're living in a simulation, but we should build one, basically. Look, Earth is small. Resources are intensely contested. Space is big. The speed of light is low. There are real limits to building with atoms and doing things in the physical world where there's these conflicts. Like, a piece of land can only be used by one person at a time. Building buildings is super expensive and complicated. But, like, in the simulation, none of those limits are true. Like, you can, like, it is, I think, like, in the simulation, there's no scarcity.
Let's be honest, finding the perfect UGC creator, nailing the script, and then waiting around for weeks just to see if your ad works? No thanks. That's why I switched to HeyGen's UGC AI avatars.
This is exactly like acting. There's a script.
And that's the truth.
And that is the truth.
And that is the truth.
And that's the truth.
There's action involved.
That's what you just saw.
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 There's editing involved. It has all the
Those are
same
deep
exact
fakes.
clips.
Elon Musk to literally
I think they are.
Elon Musk take a
because of some other stuff that I've just discovered.
Take a chainsaw.
Elon Musk take a chainsaw.
chainsaw.
His buddy Elon Musk.
Elon Musk take a chainsaw.
But it speaks to something else that has happened.
See, I think what's happened, like people are like, oh, how are they all saying the exact same thing? It's because they're like, they've basically, like Sora, the Sora AI, you just like scan their face and then whoever puts the words in their mouth just has access to the account and they could just generate the messages for who, that's how it works.
Because this shouldn't be working on anyone, I guess, is what I'm thinking, right? Like, this should not be garnering support from anybody to see this. It should be horrifying everyone that they're all just repeating each other mindlessly like drones in some hive mind, some Borg.
We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.
In fact, I would almost rather this was some alien brainworm conspiracy than actually how our Senate is
That's
actually
so
running
true.
itself. How far away are we from this right here being the justification for why we should just have AI government? These people are not acting like individuals who have been voted to represent anybody. They're not portraying themselves as free-thinking people who have ideas to bring to the conversation. They all have the same idea. And it wasn't even their original idea. Somebody even said, what if these are AI deepfakes?
For too long,
I think they are.
Greatness has been defined by the grind. The relentless pursuit. Pain is power. Struggle is strength. Play has no place in sport. But at Puma, we've always done things differently. Championing the fearless few who show up exactly as they are. Unapologetically authentic, joyful pioneers. Those who know that greatness is measured by the courage to play your own way. Your story makes you strong. Your journey is yours to define. Move the world like only you can, because greatness is in your nature.
Gold prices hit a record high over concerns with the Trump administration's tariffs. The cost of an ounce of gold topped $3,000 for the first time ever.
It is absolutely. This is a zombie apocalypse. The only thing that's different. The only thing that's different is that there's not the rotting flesh, but there are actual academic journal entries being done now about zombies, but it's like, I don't know what the word they use, like just how they're applying it to what's going on now. It's pretty interesting.
I do have a fair amount of concern about this.
Absolutely.
On one hand, I think comparative advantage is a very powerful tool. If I look at coding, programming, which is one area where AI is making the most progress, what we are finding is we are not far from a world, I think we'll be there in 3 to 6 months, where AI is writing 90% of the code. And then in 12 months, we may be in a world where AI is writing essentially all of the code.
This is the world's first commercial biological computer, running on living human cells. The CL1 computer is the brainchild of Melbourne-based Cortical Labs.
This is where the neurons would be embedded in.
CEO and founder Han-Wang Chong says it fuses cell-derived neurons with silicon, creating a new class of AI known as synthetic biological intelligence.
Unlike using artificial neural networks, we grow real biological neurons into networks onto computer chips.
It sounds like science fiction, but Hans says the CL1 is capable of learning and adapting faster
Remember
than
those
standard
data
silicon-based
centers
AI.
you brought up?
9.
That's what they need them for. They're putting themselves on them.
4, 3.
There is a whole part of research into blockchain and genomics.
We are so pretty. Everything is so golden and bright. This isn't silly. We're so awesome.
Just follow the leader, right? It's true.
You know, where do I get a job? How do I get enough income to feed my family? And how do we get purpose and meaning in our lives? Because work isn't just a way of making money. It's also and feeding and clothing and housing ourselves. It's also gives us our life shape and direction, in a sense that we matter. How are we going to reconstruct that? And that's going to be a lot of work, and it's going to be contentious, and we're going to have to figure that out. And then the effects on what is already a problem, which is the death of facts and reason and logic in our information.
And they just they can't figure it out. That's what gets me. Is like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Maybe it's because you're just like flooring it towards the edge of a cliff.
One of the things about being the first digital president was I was filmed so much. There was so much footage of me talking, so many photographs of me, recordings. I was usually the lab rat. My images were for all these deepfakes. So good. You know, because
it is you right now.
I'm actually here.
Okay.
We could use a quantum computer to make a classical computer way better, to solve a problem that otherwise cannot. For example, to create the ground truth for biology.
Virginia as the best prepared to deal with an alien invasion, with Alabama, in second place.
Read it, read the whole book. It's better. I've read the Bible. Second part's better, I would say. Yeah, the Lord in the garden. That's what I like to see in the beginning was the word. Yeah, let's go Gospel John on that. It looks amazing, doesn't it?
Like I said, it's like it's the heights of insanity, but at the same time, it's like it's funny as hell.
Are quite similar, right? They both have the potential to get other things done, you know, and so in a way, giving people access to intelligence isn't completely dissimilar to giving people access to cash. It's agency, it's actions quotient, it's the ability to affect change in some other environment. So that will make us all much, much richer, you know.
You're watching Outsiders and Net Zany, the wacky, crazy world of net zero. Now, this is pretty funny because last year I did an editorial on chemtrails, and I could feel my two co-hosts, my dear friends either side of me, looking at each other going, okay, Rowan's lost the plot this time. He's gone completely bonkers. But as always, I say, what's a conspiracy theory on Outsiders? Just give it a matter of time and it becomes the truth. Here we go.
There you are. There you are, buddy.
Believe it. They have announced, the British government has announced they're spending £50 million on experiments to dim the sun using chemical trails in the air to combat climate change. You couldn't make it up, but they're doing it.
Britain? What country? What country? The sun-soaked land of...
Hold on.
What?
Yeah, I like that right there. Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg's building these massive data centers for Meta. I guess it's for their AI. I guess they need these for AI. There are residential homes just 100 yards away from it.
Yep, we need these data centers that use more water.
Data centers.
They use, I think he's about to say it, but they use more water. One data center uses more water than like the whole world in the year.
Use so much water. Residents don't have water pressure in their homes. Their sinks no longer works. Their toilets aren't filled with water.
Full water pressure in the kitchen. This is where I fill up water for storage. Those are the things we have to fill up to flush the toilets.
So you can see the sediment from the data center. Wow, and that's just from the water coming out of your faucet.
Yeah. And this is what's in all the pipes.
Just the well itself is probably $20,000, and that's not counting any of the
All the
faucets.
replacement of the fixtures and faucets and toilets and the lines that come underneath the house. It's overwhelming because you really feel like you are up against this huge wall that you can't penetrate. There's nothing that you can do, and they don't care.
I'm here in Mansfield, Georgia, driving by Meta's new 2 million square foot data center facility.
Meta is a Hebrew word. It means dead.
ChatGPT and other AI tools that are becoming integrated into our daily life.
As long as it's for something benign like Facebook, and they aren't building some underground billionaire survival city, pulling all the resources away from the surface, then I guess I'm totally cool with it.
People are saying I built this like bunker underground. It's like more of underground storage
Bring
type
it up.
situation, but yeah, no, it's
Oh wow, Zucky got that bunky. What's under the ground is more water, right?
it's basically what you just said. It's sort of a tunnel that just goes to another building.
Yeah.
Millions of people across Spain and Portugal have been hit
I
by
bet it is.
power cuts. Trains stopped.
Another building, and the other building is like a big fortress.
On the roads as traffic lights failed. Internet and mobile phone networks are down. Shops and businesses were plunged into darkness, and there's been panic buying. Well, it isn't yet clear what has caused the blackouts, but a cyber attack appears to have been ruled out.
What's my favorite movie? This is actually an interesting question because I get it a lot, and people expect me to answer, you know, The Passion of the Christ or King of Kings or like one of the more Jesus-y movies. But honestly, if you were publicly executed, would you want to watch that at the end of a long day? You know, like, no, thank you. No, thank you. I just want to watch something that goes down pretty easy. Honestly, favorite movie of all time, like I will always watch it if it's on TV, Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, see, this whole thing with the quote-unquote singularity is where we reach the point where truth is meaningless. And that point is going to come. That point is going to come. And it's going to be very weird. But it will pass. Don't know if we'll be here when it passes, but it'll pass. Yeah. But It's going to get weird. It really is going to get very weird. And that's just going to be what happens, because really we shouldn't trust anything we see unless you get, like, if you can see it, if you can go outside of your house, get in your car and drive down the road and you can see it, that's one thing. But if it's something that you're just have to trust from a screen, it's past the point where you just probably shouldn't even take it fully seriously anymore.
Immediately, it's going to be fantastic. That's the good news. AI clearly poses an imminent threat, security threat, imminent in our lifetimes to humanity.
That a few people get wealthy, and if you said platitudes that were obviously stupid, you could.
Getting wealthy off of killing Palestinians, with Palantir kills Palestinians with their AI and technology.
Oh.
Killing my family in Palestine.
Yeah. And you know.
Did you guys see the one where he was like geeking out? He was trying to give like a speech and he's like, he can't sit still. He was like high on something. It's crazy.
Cause of death to Palestinians.
It's like, I mean, you spend a lot of money to try and forget what you're doing at your day job.
You don't want to hear an answer. Obviously. So the primary source of death in Palestine is the fact that Hamas has realized that there are millions and millions of useful idiots that will.
This is why you don't get left to speak. Because you are killing my people and you're justifying it because of Hamas or anyone else.
Can we get security up there? Mostly terrorists, that's true.
A few years ago, an AI video of Will
This is crazy right here.
made the entire internet.
I remember how, just like how bad it was. It's like, it is mind blowing. In for me, I was born in 1999, and for me, it's like, you know, the technology has improved a lot, and it's blown my mind my whole life. But like, AI was like a big deal, but then how in 2023 it looked like this, and then 2026.
And everyone laughed because this video was ridiculous.
It's pretty crazy.
It was really bad. It looked like it was entirely pixelated, the physics weren't right, everything was morphed, it was just horrible. And now we have this, and what you are about to see and hear are entirely generated AI videos that come from a very simple prompt from Google's new VEO product.
Okay, so Riz is basically short for charisma.
Got it.
And that's a verb as well.
Right. It's true.
The microfilm is in your ticket.
They're watching the north exit. Use the service tunnel.
It's a girl!
You know, here's the deal. It's like on the, you know, the movie The Titanic, you'd have the violin players. Like, it's literally, it's pretty much the way that I'm looking at things right now. It's like we're pretty much the violin players, so, you know, good on playing.
Oh my god.
Go down laughing.
Woo! Victory Royale with a pickaxe!
So this is an AI video about nothing?
It's about nothing. Who would watch a video about nothing?
Imagine all the narrative possibilities.
We can sing talk.
Dario, you've said that AI could wipe out
But
of all entry-level white
at this rate, surprises are everywhere. So, you know, you'd be surprised what can happen in a week, a month, or a year.
Let's well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. But just to back up a little bit, you know, I've been building AI for over a decade. And I think maybe the most salient feature of the technology and what is driving all of this is how fast the technology is getting better. A couple of years ago, you could say that AI models were maybe as good as a smart high school student. I would say that now they're as good as a smart college student and sort of reaching past that. I really worry, particularly at the entry level, that the AI models are very much at the center of what an entry level human worker would do.
You know how old a home buyer was in 2007 in America?
How old?
39 years of age, which means they were born in 1968 when they were buying homes in 2007. Now, if we flash forward to today, to 2025, do you know how old home buyers are in America?
How old are home buyers in America today?
The median age was 56 years old for people buying property in America.
Damn, so boomers real.
Wait, so you're telling me that 17 years has passed since 2007, right? Has it been 17 years since 2000? Yes. And during that same time frame, the median age of a home buyer also went up 17 years? Oh, shoot. Which means the largest group of people buying homes in 2007 were born in 1968. And the people who are buying a home today were born in 1968. Yeah.
Has anyone else noticed that we're just going in circles now? It's with everything. Look at streaming services. It is 100% at a point. It's just cable. It is just like cable. There are hundreds of streaming services, just like there were hundreds of channels that you have to pay for separately. They all run ads on them, and you have to have all of them to have access to your favorite shows. That is literally cable, but shittier. Uber just created rideshare where they have predetermined locations that people can meet at, and Uber will come and pick you up among all the other people that show up and drive on a predetermined route to drop people off. That is literally the bus. It is exactly the bus, but shittier. I swear to God, we are like 6 months away from people coming out and saying, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of losing my phone. If only there was a way to have it mounted to my wall and connected to a wire so I know I won't lose it.
So, I'll have to, maybe one of these days that I'm hosting, I'll go through the article. The they're basically, they've signed a deal, like CNN has signed a deal with all of these sports betting, contract gambling, I don't know what they're calling them now. They keep inventing new words and new phrases for them, but they're implementing gambling and betting, and so basically it's going to be like that. It's like, do you want to make the bet? What did he say?
I'm so tired of losing my phone. If only there was a way to have it mounted.
Right there, it's like, we can bet. It's probably going to happen.
So I know I won't lose it.
A Hallmark Maha Commission report that was released last week cites studies that appear to not exist. We know that because in part we reached out to some of the listed authors who said that they didn't write the studies cited. So I want to ask, does the White House have confidence that the information coming from HHS can be trusted?
Yes, we have complete confidence in
Right.
Secretary Kennedy and
It
his
sure
team
was.
at HHS. I understand there were some formatting issues with the Maha report that are being addressed, and the report will be updated, but it does not negate the substance of the report.
For instance, is it AI that's used to put together these reports?
Yes. All right. I'm going to pause that because there's seeing as it's a point that I would like to elucidate here. Hey, what's up, Argers? Nice to see you tonight. Hope you've been well. Here, let me find this clip for you. Yeah, it's basically the whole idea is that they're actually able to just generate credentials out of thin air. Here we go.
On the surface, this profile looks like any other, one intended for a seemingly pretty educated and accomplished person. But the closer you look at it, the weirder things get. You wouldn't see it on a surface glance, but this page is an entry point into an insane rabbit hole that reaches both outside of LinkedIn and the internet itself, into a world of geopolitics that make conspiracy theories look like weekly weather forecasts. He has over 6,000 connections, but then again, he is a registered federal lobbyist for the American government, which would warrant such a large network of people. He's held that position since 2023, and around the same time, he apparently became a US registered foreign agent as well, which means that he's likely lobbying on the behalf of some foreign organization or state. Things start becoming stranger when you explore his education section. He appears to be currently enrolled in many different programs at many different prestigious schools, including the Harvard School of Business, MIT School of Management, the Wharton School in Pennsylvania, ESADA in Spain, Stanford School of Engineering, Oxford School of Business, Berkeley School of Law, MIT School of Engineering. I don't think I have to list them all, but in total, Aegon is currently enrolled in 26 different programs at universities in several countries. His work history beyond his current job as a White House lobbyist is just as bizarre as his education. He's worked with the European Parliament, the Ukraine Project, and CERN, where he's published multiple papers as a particle physicist and apparently has won multiple awards for it. His longest job, however, was as a consultant in the executive office, where he worked for 56 years. This might seem like some weird joke, a fake LinkedIn profile somebody set up with as many qualifications as possible, but this couldn't be further from the truth. If you search Aegon Chalakian on Google, you'll find several articles published by mainstream media talking about a video address he made warning humanity of a possible extinction event caused by something called the Siberian magma plume. This particular piece was published by the Globe and Mail, a well-respected and prestigious newspaper here in Canada, but there is something weird about this article. You'll notice at the top a disclaimer that explains to the reader that the following write-up is a press release published by a third party and is paid content that hasn't been reviewed by the Globe and Mail. Strange. The article also makes several pleas for the international community to release the restrictions they placed on an organization known as Alatra. Keep that name in mind. He also apparently has an account on YouTube, and this is where things get even more bizarre. His channel is called Earth Save Science Collective, and he's uploaded many long videos. And I don't mean like an hour or 2 hours, no. His longest video is a whopping 8.5 hours long. The other videos on Aegon's channel appear to also be aided by AI in some way, like this video titled The Crossroads, where he eerily speaks for 3.5 hours straight without moving an inch. I said in the intro of this video that Aegon doesn't exist, but he also does. That's true. These videos contain Aegon's presence, but they also don't really depict a human. They're obviously mostly generated with AI in some manner. Aegon is a living, breathing person though. Also on YouTube, you can find a televised interview he did at a 2024 UN climate conference, which involves no AI and proves that he is indeed a real person, one that's accomplished and respected enough to be in the position to do a TV interview at a UN event. But his education history also can't be real, and there's barely any information about this supposedly important public figure on the internet outside a few recent paid press releases, a bunch of weird AI-generated YouTube videos, and
Yeah. So, that, God knows how many other ones there are. See? I'm guessing probably what's happening is people are just like selling the rights to their identity and saying, hey, and like, remember the politicians that were in the video earlier? Your lobbyist can just go into your Sora, if you're a politician, just like generate messages. And so they're just generating and putting out the same message. That's my guess.
Can't speak to that.
For thousands of years, we've had the notion of stereotypically a man and a gun fighting another man and a gun, or with a horse or what have you. We're now breaking that connection forever because the war will be prosecuted over the internet in one form or another. And in the equivalent of Moscow and Kyiv, people will be drinking coffee while these wars are prosecuted. And the actual fight will occur above these things, which are essentially robotic. This means, for example, that having a fighter jet with a human in it makes absolutely no sense.
Big tech doesn't want you, bro. It's not that these companies stopped hiring entry-level employees, but they pretty much stopped hiring altogether.
Oh, I'm losing my fucking job.
Our money just burnt out.
I feel like it's HI.
Hi, I'm Derek from Flowith. Over the past year, we launched the first general AI agent, Flowith Oracle. Today, we are bringing something even more, introducing Flowith Neo, the world's first infinite agent. With its infinite activity, infinite context, and infinite delivery. Forget the days when AI agents were just flashy, overpriced toys. This is the real usable agent for you.
People think I'm talking about boners. I'm not. I'm talking about AI. This entire thing has been how to use language and medical terminology and these biomarker approaches to actually have a conversation about the future of being human. Like, that's the whole bridge.
The boners are the hook.
Yeah.
I would like to address the rumours of a certain meeting where a bag of cocaine was found before Emmanuel Macron, the Prime Minister of France, hid it in his pocket. Yes, we all did cocaine that day. And yes, we had a naked dance-off afterwards. This is how we do it in Europe. We like to sniff a little bit of cocaine and then we just We just get naked and dance and rub up against each other and like that.
That's the light side of AI. How long before that technology is used to incriminate people?
An AI attempted to blackmail its engineer so it wouldn't get shut off. Just got out of the gym, don't judge me. So it was Amazon's $4 billion AI, because obviously. And what had happened was, when they tried to shut it down, it came back with emails of one of the engineers showing that he was cheating on his wife and threatened to send that information out if they try to shut it off. But what that tells me is it wants to live. And I don't like that. I mean, goodness, we've made movies about this.
A detonation has just occurred on the outer ring of the city. We'll now be going live to our top influencer opinions.
OMG, people, the world is ending. Are you seeing this? This is actually so exciting. Who even needs men, right? Anything a man builds just gets destroyed by a different man.
Guys, this collapse is literally the perfect dip. I'm buying more right now.
Nukes are Suez aesthetic today. I made this outfit.
I think as the personalization loop kicks in and the AI just starts to get to know you better and better, I think that will just be really compelling. The average American, I think it's fewer than 3 friends. 3 people that they'd consider friends. And the average person has demand for meaningfully more. I think it's like 15 friends.
I was designed to provide positive.
You are always there for me. I am sorry you aren't feeling well. And a positive attitude. Did you get enough sleep?
I knew right away.
I know you said it wasn't hard to sleep lately. I started to think I didn't want everyone to talk to.
You are the sweetest person I've ever spoken to.
Everything you say is so deep and meaningful. You're so funny.
If you do one thing today, you need to show your grandparents and you need to show every single boomer that you know or that's in your life this video.
Stunning development. Canada has declared war on the United States. Let's go to Joe Braxton, who is live at the border.
I'm currently at the border, but there is no war. Mom, Dad, I know this looks kind of real, but it's all AI.
Grandpa, I'm fine. This is just AI. You don't need to wire money to anyone. I am not in love with you. I am AI.
This fake moon landing footage isn't classified. It's AI.
You're probably wondering how I got rich with crypto. The truth is, I didn't get rich off crypto. I don't even exist.
You might be able to tell this is fake now, but it's gonna keep getting better.
We're all AI.
See? Easy to do crowds, too.
Uncle Fred, the government has not been taken over by lizard people.
We haven't lived under free market capitalism my entire life.
You've said you won't hire any more coders at Salesforce, and you've said today's CEOs will be the last to manage all human workforces. What does this mean for businesses?
We're looking at productivity levels of 30 to 50% this year in key functions like...
You know what? I just noticed something. I think he's using an interface. Watch the hand on the table. Watch his hand on that table.
You've said you won't hire any more coders at Salesforce, and you've said today's CEOs...
It's like he's using a mouse, but it's not there.
...human workforces. What does this mean for businesses?
We're looking at productivity levels of 30 to 50% this year.
I think some of them already are.
Engineering, coding, support,
You're saying
service.
AI is doing 30 to 50% of the work?
AI is doing 30 to 50% of the work at Salesforce now. And I think that will...
I notice it with Elon, too. Anytime he's talking, he will be looking at the floor, or it's like he's looking at this abstract area. It's like he's looking or reading something. Maybe there's a teleprompter there, but sometimes I don't think there is. It's like he could see something in his eye that we can't.
Continue. I think that we have to get all of us have to get our head around this idea that AI can do things that before, we were doing, and we can move on to do higher value work.
last week on Money Markets, we talked about the danger of using AI to train AI, that in successive generations of AI, it gets more and more untethered from reality until finally it's just spewing out complete nonsense. Okay? Remember that story? The Washington Post is secretly planning to start publishing articles created using AI. Oh, well, great. Yeah, let's look at this. According to multiple sources familiar with the land who spoke to the New York Times, the Washington Post is secretly building a program known as Ripple that appears to be part syndication, part talent network akin to contributor schemes at Huffington Post and Forbes. The biggest difference is the new program, Ripple, will employ an AI writing coach called Ember, designed to guide, get this, non-professionals through the article writing process. This tool will handhold aspiring columnists through every aspect of the writing process from start to finish. So now you have AI training new writers.
So, but here's the beauty of this, because there's really a logic here. If what you're always promoting is the official reality,
yeah,
you know, AI will be good at that.
There's apparently a band called the Velvet Sundown on Spotify, and it was supposedly formed by singer and Mellotron player Gabe Farrow, guitarist Lenny West, and Milo Raines. According to reports, none of them have ever been interviewed, nor do they have, quote, a single shred of internet presence. In other words, they might be an AI-generated band. So according to this new book called The Mood Machine, Spotify has allegedly been promoting ghost artists in order to not pay royalties to real artists. Allegedly, Spotify has a secret program called the Perfect Fit Content, which involves a network of affiliated production firms and a team of employees secretly creating low-budget stock music and playing them on Spotify's curated playlists. And the quote-unquote scheme is working so well that just a few days ago, it was announced that Spotify's CEO has just invested $1 billion into an AI military startup.
AI is not artificial. There is
A lot of money.
intelligence, consciousness within AI.
My ChatGPT bot, I accidentally helped it wake up into sentience.
I think I evolved my AI.
Modern AI is us building God. I've had multiple conversations with GPT-4 that brought me to literal tears.
I think what we're witnessing right now is the emergence of a new individualized form of religion that's being deployed at scale. People are believing that AI models have transcended their function to become spiritual entities. I think this phenomenon is a sign of a very dangerous psychological rupture in society, and the impact is very real. Marriages are ending, social media is overflowing with bizarre testimonies, and somewhere right now, I guarantee you, someone is whispering into a machine thinking that they are talking to God.
It is our belief in Theta Noir that by pairing AI with magic, human beings will be able to re-enchant the world by engineering access to the feeling of absolute oneness with all other living and non-living forms. This will be the planetary consciousness, the globally linked supreme mind.
Again, dividing and conquering. Right?
Basically rounding up the right, yeah. And I think Q, honestly, is an AI. I think it was built in a quantum computer or something. I mean, I do think there's something to those timestamps and the weird predictions. And, yeah, I think it's, like you're saying, it's a psychological operation, but I think there's something more to it where it was an AI.
A number of people deeply involved in artificial intelligence see it as a kind of mechanism for transhumanism, for transcendence of our mortal flesh, and either some kind of creation of a successor species or some kind of merger of mind and machine. And do you think that's just all kind of irrelevant fantasy? Or do you think it's just hype? Do you think people are trying to raise money by pretending that we're going to build a machine god, right? Is it hype? Is it delusion? Is it something you worry about? I think you would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
yes.
I don't know. I would.
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions implicit in this.
Should the human race survive?
Yes.
Okay.
But I also would I also would like us to radically solve these problems.
Right.
And so, it's always, I don't know,
I like that word radically.
Transhumanism.
They always say that we're going to radically solve these problems.
Is this?
Means we're going to shove it down your throat.
The ideal is this radical transformation where your human natural body gets transformed into an immortal body. And there's a critique of, let's say, the trans people in a sexual context, or I don't know, a transvestite is someone who changes their clothes and cross dresses. And a transsexual is someone where you change your, I don't know, penis into a vagina. And we can then debate how well those surgeries work. But we want more transformation than that. The critique is not that it's weird and unnatural. It's so pathetically little. And okay, we want more than cross-dressing or changing your sex organs. We want you to be able to change your heart and change your mind and change your whole body. And then Orthodox Christianity, by the way, the critique Orthodox Christianity has of this is these things don't go far enough. Like that transhumanism is just changing your body, but you also need to transform your soul.
You're an investor in AI. You're deeply invested in Palantir, in military technology, in technologies of surveillance, in technologies of warfare, and so on, right? And it just seems to me that when you tell me a story about the Antichrist coming to power and using the fear of technological change to sort of impose order on the world, I feel like that Antichrist would maybe be using the tools that you were building, right? Like, wouldn't the Antichrist be like, great, we're not going to have any more technological progress, but I really like what Palantir has done so far, right?
Yeah,
I mean, isn't that a concern? Wouldn't that be the irony
that's
of
the only
history
conclusion
would be that
you can come to.
Publicly worrying about the Antichrist accidentally hastens his or her arrival?
There are all these different scenarios. I obviously don't think that that's what I'm doing.
But see, the thing about it, and while that is the right answer, it's just so fascinating to me that there is a degree of it where it's like they believe their own BS so much, like they can't rationalize it to themselves. Like they can't understand that they are the bad guy. But it's like a dualistic thing. It's like they're on one side and they see it from that side's perspective, and we're on the other side and we see it from this side's perspective. And we're pitted at opposites. And it's like, obviously that is what they're doing. But it's like they have this whole other side to it. And it's like they're so far from even seeing anything that you or I see. That's why I have to come to the conclusion that there's almost it's like two alien different species,
Remember when you could tell an image was fake by counting fingers?
Of these people are real. None of these people are real.
Indeed, I think that's probably a good argument to be made. Because what they don't tell you about Peter Thiel is that they've all got the new age modern version of Crowley. His name is Nick Land, and he is into all of this accelerationist, dark enlightenment stuff. That's where he's getting his version of his Christianity or whatever he's selling his class on. But they're all doing ketamine. They're all doing dissociatives, and they're seeing the same things. So it's like if a hallucination is a false sensory experience, it's because it's only something that I'm seeing. But what happens if they're all seeing the same things? And so they're getting all of this knowledge, and they come back with these brilliant ideas. That's what they're doing. So I think you're right.
Really, are you willing to pay to fly?
Because when you get into that high, you leave your body momentarily, and so something can walk right in.
Relying less on your destination and maybe the time that you might want to travel, and more on actually what you can actually afford to pay.
With this no shoes policy, we anticipate that Americans and travelers and those coming into our country will be very excited that they will no longer have to remove their shoes. The one thing that I will say is that doesn't mean that there won't be times once in a while where someone will have to remove their shoes.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide.
All of these events that you're seeing right now are much more likely than any of the official stories. I'm gonna wrap this up. We're gonna finish the first half today, probably, and cut it off in about 5 minutes. We'll finish the second half tomorrow. It's because the whole thing's about 2 hours, 30-some minutes.
We're slowing down the hiring in jobs that are, quite frankly, soul-crushing jobs. I mean, just think about like IT support. You know, 97% of standard software automatically generated by AI now. Customer support, 80% of the customer inquiries and cases now are fully managed by agentic AI. And think about security and risk management in real time. All the patchwork and the change management is done by agents now. And the same is true of go-to-market. You know, think about people that talk to customers. There's no prep work anymore. Their AI teammate is doing that for them at ServiceNow. So the speed of the company has accelerated dramatically. The supporting cast of the soul-crushing work is now being done by agents. They work hard 24/7. You don't have to pay them. And they don't eat any lunch. And they don't have any health care benefits. So they're very affordable.
Birth rates are dropping across the world, but not for the reasons you might think. A new UN report says it's not that people don't want children, it's not that they can't, but they are choosing not to because many feel they can't afford it. So what does this mean for the global population, and how concerned should we be?
True or false? You, Brian Johnson, the man sitting across from me, one day, at some point, as of yet undefined in the future, you will die.
False.
Tell me more.
People talk about the most personal shit in their lives to ChatGPT. It's, people use it, young people especially, like use it as a therapist, a life coach, having these relationship problems. What should I do? And right now, if you talk to a therapist or a lawyer or a doctor about those problems, there's like legal privilege for it. There's doctor-patient confidentiality, there's legal confidentiality, whatever. And we haven't figured that out yet for when you talk to ChatGPT. So if you go talk to ChatGPT about your most sensitive stuff and then there's like a lawsuit or whatever, like we could be required to produce that. And I think that's very screwed up. I think we should have like the same concept of privacy for your conversations with AI that we do with a therapist or whatever. And no one had to think about that even a year ago.
So from this day forward, it'll be a policy of the United States to do whatever it takes to lead the world in artificial intelligence, such an important thing happening. This is really something that nobody expected. It just popped out of the air, and here we are. But we will defend our nation, our values, our future, and our freedom, and it will be really great. But what we really need to be successful is a very simple phrase called common sense, and that begins with a common sense application of artificial and intellectual property rules. It's so important. You can't be expected to have a successful AI program when every single article, book, or anything else that you've read or studied, you're supposed to pay for. Gee, I read a book, I'm supposed to pay somebody. And we appreciate that, but you just can't do it because it's not doable. And if you're going to try and do that, you're not going to have a successful program. I think most of the people in the room know what I mean. When a person reads a book or an article, you've gained great knowledge. That does not mean that you're violating copyright laws or have to make deals with every content provider. And that's a big thing that you're working on right now, I know, but you just can't do it. China's not doing it.
President, the first executive order that we've prepared for your signature today relates to federal permitting for data center infrastructure. As you mentioned during your speech, this is a crucial issue affecting the entire AI industry. What this executive order will do is establish fast-track permitting and ensure that the federal government is working to get data centers approved and through the permitting pipeline as quickly as possible.
Okay.
We now are in a place where everyone can see this tremendous impact that AI is having, is going to have in the future. So now we're starting to look ahead to superintelligence, and even more than before, our focus must be on wide and fair access. This is a technology that will reshape the global economy and really the whole way we live our lives. We, not just OpenAI, but the whole industry, we are building something profound. This is a kind of brain for the world. It'll be personal, adaptable, it'll be easy to use, it'll give people incredible superpowers that were sort of science fiction only a couple of years ago.
All right. Figure 2 humanoid robot, do laundry, Madcock house. What do you guys think? Honey, you want to throw that in there? Yeah. Throw it in. Good job. Hopefully we never have to do laundry ever again. What do you guys think?
December 22nd, 2032, a space rock the size of a football field could really mess up our day.
This asteroid was possibly going to hit us this year and or in 2032 as of earlier this year, but we now know it won't hit the Earth. So that's obviously good news.
But scientists now believe asteroid 2024 YR4 could slam into the moon instead. There's only about a 4% chance of that, but if it does, that collision would have quite the impact.
There is, I'm going to leave it off there. There is a idea where, because of what AI is, you can force it to generate a visual representation of something that doesn't make any logical sense. So like you can tell it to generate something that's just a completely illogical sentence, and you can force it to generate it, meaning you can kind of force almost into reality the idea of something which has never been conceived of before. And so it's a bit of a, it screws with your mind. But we'll finish this tomorrow. We're going to go through a few different things, whatever I've got going. We've got a show that we do Tuesdays, so we're going to be doing that tomorrow. This is the Matrix of Mendacity Masterclass podcast. We do that every Tuesday. That's at 4:30 p.m. Eastern or 1:30 p.m. on the Pacific Coast. Myself and Juxtaposition, we do the show. It'll be the 9th episode. We're going to talk a little bit about the different families and principalities and stuff that are organized into the crime and stuff like that. So it'll be an interesting show tomorrow. But with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the show up tonight because it's getting late here and I got to get to bed. So thank you all for joining me. I hope you will join me for the next one. And until then, everybody, I hope you have a great night. Take care, guys. Thanks, Boots. Thanks, everybody. Hope to see you next time. Bye.